Good day. I am Ronnel Matunog, fourth-year aspirant from the Society of St. Paul, and I am proud to present to you my research paper. Last thesis topic defense. My proposed title #MeToo movement as a quasi-Perhesiasts, a Foucauldian analysis, was changed into MeToo movement as a quasi-Perhesiasts, a Foucauldian discourse on truth-telling. Major recommendations have been made in order to improve the research paper. From Dr. Edwin Aspra. More discussion on the waves of feminism and their school of thoughts. What type of feminism is the Me Too movement? Add the goals and mission of the Me Too movement. Add the evolution of Perhesia and definition of terms. From Father Norman. Idealized Me Too movement and the Perhesiasts. Add other feminist movements and compare it with the Me Too movement. The researcher had missed the chance to include other movements, which is in the recommendation. Page 50. Choose between the #MeToo movement and Me Too movement. From Dr. James Piskus. Commentaries and narratives or testimonies of women. Combine question 2 and 3. Third problem, what are the implications? At the beginning of the second semester, it was settled with Dr. Piskus to separate once again the original second and third problem. The implication must be added on the third problem and definition of terms. The study has been guided by the following questions and its tentative answers. First question, what is Me Too movement as a digital feminist movement? Me Too movement, popularly known as the #MeToo movement, is a digital feminist movement that creates community of survivors as they build solidarity from one another while engaging on the healing process. They have three main goals or purposes. First, is the welfare of the sexual harassment. Second, is to expose the oppressive system of the society that tolerates the sexual harassment. Third, is to reach the victims and encourage them to break their silence. Second question, what is Michel Foucault's Perhesia? Perhesia is an activity of truth-telling, in regards of his relation to truth, and puts his life in danger, because he recognizes speaking the truth as a duty. A Perhesiast possess 5 elements that determines him a truth-teller. These are frankness in words, relation to truth, danger, criticism, and duty. Third question, what makes the Me Too movement a quasi-Perhesiasts? The Me Too movement shows qualities of being a Perhesiasts, from the movement's goal and mission. It shows that the Me Too movement is a modern Perhesiasts that tells the truth about the sexual harassment in the society today. However, the movement's activity of truth-telling is only a secondary, as their main agenda is to protect the welfare and safety of all victims and survivors. The Me Too movement is capable of doing the Perhesia, yet they are careful in doing so, as they want to preserve the safety of their members. This makes the Me Too movement a quasi-Perhesiasts. The fourth wave feminism, at the beginning of the 21st century, had made the women to voice out their concerns through the usage of various social media platforms. It helped them disseminate their ideas and share their thoughts on feminist issues in a faster means. One of the influential feminist movement today is the Me Too movement. Its popularity had made thousands of women voices out their sexual harassment experiences, and the status #MeToo became a widespread battle cry for women who speaks out about the sexual harassment and assaults. They made campaigns on the truth about the said topic on the society. As a result, dozens of powerful men were accused, toppled, and criminally charged. Complaints on sexual harassment was also increased. These has led the researcher to study the Me Too movement as the truth-tellers. The philosopher Michel Foucault deals truth not with its problem or content, but with the problem of truth-tellers, or of truth-telling as an activity. He gave characteristics of people who are able to tell the truth. He made a new approach on the topic of truth in which it was not much focused on the truth, but to the relationship between the subject and truth. Foucault called the truth-telling activity as Perhesia, and the people engaged on it are the Perhesiasts. The researcher then will analyze the Me Too movement through the lens of Michel Foucault's Pirhesiasts. Are they capable of telling the truth? Are they truth tellers? Can they be considered as the Pirhesiasts? This is a juxtaposition of the two variables between the Pirhesiasts and Me Too movement. The study will analyze the Me Too movement's missions, the welfare of the survivors of sexual harassment, expose the oppressive system of the society that tolerates sexual harassment, and reach victims and encourage them to break their silence. Side by side with the characteristics of a Pirhesiasts: frankness, truth, danger, criticism, duty, which results to the following elements: frankness through online and offline campaigns, truth about the taboo culture of sexual harassment, danger of backlashes, criticism against their perpetrators, and duty of spreading the awareness of sexual harassment, breaking the silence. It will then claim that the Pirhesiasts' truth-telling activity is the primary goal. On the other hand, the Me Too movement's primary goal is the welfare of the survivors and truth-telling is their secondary only. It will then proceed to conclusion that the Me Too movement is a quasi-Pirhesiasts. In discussing the first problem on the discussion of Me Too movement, a historico-descriptive analysis will be used, for it will present the movement's historical background, elements, and characteristics, alongside with its mission and goals. Followed by the discussion of the second problem, regarding Pirhesia, specifically the characteristics of a Pirhesiasts: duty, truth, frankness, criticism and truth. It will use other sources, on the discussion of the Pirhesiasts. Lastly, on the third and final problem, the discussion will explore how the Me Too movement becomes quasi-Pirhesiasts. The study primarily focuses on Michel Foucault's Pirhesiasts and the Me Too movement. The researcher deals only with the Me Too movement, and does not include various forms of activism, social movements and feminism on social media. It will deal on its historical background, advocacies, and its elements as a social movement. The study limits its study on the concept of Pirhesiasts, and its 5 essential characteristics, namely, duty, truth, danger, criticism, frankness. It is limited to the 5 characteristics, because these are the characteristics Michel Foucault recognized to be a Pirhesiasts. It will still discuss a short description about the Pirhesia or the activity of truth-telling. It won't discuss other concept of Michel Foucault, such as power relations and discourse. The result of the study can be used as a philosophical foundation for the discussion of feminist social movement occurring in the social media, specifically the Me Too movement. It can be used to analyze the engagement of people on any social movement or activism in social media discussions, specifically its usage for the victims of sexual harassment. It will also add to the literatures regarding the newly emerged fourth wave feminism. Furthermore, the study enriches the discussion on Pirhesia and Pirhesiasts. It can be helpful to deeper understanding on the theory of Michel Foucault. It will shed light on the said topic, and will showcase its relevance today. This study adheres to the research thrust of St. Paul Seminary, for it explores philosophical teachings, put together with current social and communication development, that will help people to be critical in the way they engage activism in the social media. It will touch issues on the feminism, activism, and social media. The first section explores the Me Too movement as a digital feminist movement by tracing the different waves of feminism and various feminist schools of thoughts. It includes their historical background, from the time it was created until its virality in the social media, alongside the movement's functions and purposes. The beginning of the 21st century led to fourth-wave feminism that uses technologies, especially the social media platforms, to address feminist issues. It is characterized by rape culture, online feminism, humor, intersectionality and inclusion. Liberal cyberfeminism regards cyberspace as the new public space. The Me Too movement is one of the influential feminist movement in the fourth wave feminism. It was founded by Tarana Burke in 2006. She first coined the phrase, Me Too, after hearing the story of a young girl who confided her the sexual abuse of her mother's boyfriend. She searched for the right word to help empathize countless young and mature women who had similar experiences. From this simple statement of empathy, it helped Burke to disseminate her campaign of activism for girls and women who have experienced sexual harassment, abuse, or assault. The movement gained popularity following the trend tweet of Alyssa Milano as a response to Harvey Weinstein. On October 15, 2017, she encouraged everyone to make the hashtag #MeToo as their status on their tweets, as they untold their stories of harassment and assaults, and to showcase the magnitude of its problem today. Significantly, searches related to sexual harassment have increased. It ignited millions of women to share their own experiences and empathized with everyone. Various prominent women came forward to tell their stories and filed complaints against their predators. With such actions, ordinary women from different races, classes, occupations came forward to break their silence, who quietly endured their traumatic experiences for many years. The phrase, Me Too, alongside with its status hashtag #MeToo, was used in order to comfort everyone that they are not alone in their struggle, and for them to have the courage to tell the truth to everyone. It made them the truth tellers regarding the welfare of women all over the world who experienced sexual abuses. They have three main goals or purposes. First is the welfare of the sexual harassment. Second is to expose the oppressive system of the society that tolerates the sexual harassment. Third is to reach the victims and encourage them to break their silence. Thus, the Me Too movement, popularly known as the hashtag #MeToo movement, is a digital feminist movement that encourages women to break their silence and come forward to expose their experiences of sexual harassments and abuses. They create a community of survivors as they build solidarity from one another while engaging on the healing process. They use different platforms of social media to reach out wide audiences all over the world. The movement regarded themselves as the truth tellers, exposing the oppressive system of sexual harassment against women in the society. The movement's engagement in relation with the truth has led the researcher to analyze the Me Too movement as the truth tellers. One philosopher who examines the role of the subject to the truth is Michel Foucault, through his Pyrrhesia. This section provides the discussion of Michel Foucault's Pyrrhesia and its characteristics. The characteristics of a Pyrrhesiast, a person engaging on a Pyrrhesia, are the following: frankness, truth, danger, criticism, and duty. The characteristics were given by Michel Foucault in a lecture he gave during the end of his life, into which compiled in a book, The Fearless Speech and the Courage of Truth. It will also discuss the evolution of a Pyrrhesiastic activity through rhetoric, politics, and philosophy. The term Pyrrhesia means free speech, from the Greek words pan, everything, and rhema, that which is said. Pyrrhesiasts is the person engaging Pyrrhesia. Pyrrhesia consists in telling the truth, without concealment, reserve, empty manner of speech, or rhetorical ornament which might encode or hide it. A Pyrrhesiast does not just say anything and everything, without any verification and validity. He laid down 5 characteristics of a speaker that must be possessed to be a Pyrrhesiast: frankness, truth, danger, criticism, and duty. A Pyrrhesiast possess 5 elements that determines him a truth teller. These are frankness in words, relation to truth, danger, criticism, and duty. The 5 characteristics are essential to determine if someone engaged in a Pyrrhesiastic activity and can be called Pyrrhesiasts. Also, a Pyrrhesiast lived the words he is talking to live the truth is one of the responsibilities of the holder of the truth. It must be seen in his own life and in his interaction to others. The parrhesia has been evolved through time. It was first used as the contrast for the rhetoric. Next, it was used as part of a political activity. A parrhesiast reminds the king, or people in higher position, to remind themselves of the actions they do that might not be beneficial to their sovereigns. Lastly, as an ethical philosophy, the parrhesia here is not merely a concept or theme, but rather a practice in which there is the harmonious relationship between the speaker's words and actions. This section explores the Me Too movement as a quasi-parrhesiasts. It will be divided into 4 parts. First part is the juxtaposition of the elements of the parrhesiasts with the Me Too movement. This is to assess the elements of the Me Too movement with the elements of parrhesiasts. The second part will answer the question, what makes the Me Too movement a quasi-parrhesiasts? Lastly, is the implication of the Me Too movement as a quasi-parrhesiasts. The Me Too movement has certain qualities of being a parrhesiasts: the frankness and sincerity to tell other people about the ongoing sad event of sexual harassment against women, the truth about women who need help from the traumatic experiences they got from perpetrators, the danger of different backlashes they experienced along the way that led them to risk their jobs, relationship to others, and even their own lives. The criticism of people around them, especially their perpetrators, against their testimonies, and a sense of duty to one's people. For these individuals came together to achieve their goals, as well as to break the culture of silence regarding the sexual harassment. This shows that the Me Too movement is a modern parrhesiasts that tells the truth about the sexual harassment in the society today. But what makes it a quasi-parrhesiasts? The Me Too movement, as a parrhesiast, speaks about the sexual harassments happening in the society because they believe in it, despite the criticism they got from other people, and the members may even face the danger of losing their own life. However, this is not the focus of the movement. Tarana Burke emphasizes that the movement's main purpose is the welfare of the survivors of the sexual harassment. The movement's main agenda is to support, protect, and secure the welfare of the survivors of the sexual harassment. The Me Too movement is capable of doing the parrhesiastic activity, however, they are careful in doing so because they still want to preserve the safety of their members. Their activity of truth-telling against the sexual harassment is only secondary from their main goal of helping survivors. This makes the Me Too movement a quasi-parrhesiasts. A parrhesiast's primary task is to speak publicly about the wrongdoings of other people. The Me Too movement's engagement on speaking the truth about the sexual harassment is only secondary, as it focuses more on the survivors and victims. The Me Too movement is a quasi-parrhesiasts, as shown from its characteristics. A quasi-parrhesiasts can possess all the characteristics of a parrhesiasts: the frankness in words, the truth they are holding to, the risk of dangers and criticism they might get along the way, and the sense of duty in speaking up. However, he postpone or reserve his parrhesiastic activity because he wants to preserve his own main agenda. A further study on other feminist movement and their usage of digital technology disseminating their causes and ideas, on how these means greatly affect in bringing up their issues, both political and social, in a wider audiences. A further study regarding the emerging fourth wave feminism can be done. An exploration of this topic includes the fourth wave's role on social media, pornography, rape culture, naming and shaming, and slacktivism, to name a few. Further study on parrhesia and how it may apply to a contemporary institution such as in governance, journalism, and education. The study of the care of the self, its connection on the parrhesia, and how can it be used as an ethical implication today.